ping pong, judo, tennis, boxing, pentathlon. What do all these weird sports have in common? They're all unique, they're kind of fun to watch, they're accessible for a global audience in general, they catch the attention of a global audience as well. Now, all these sports, people probably only watch once every 4 years in the Olympics. You see, each year, sports are brought in, new sports, and tested to see whether they will be included in the next games, to see if they appease the audience enough. And in recent years, some sports have hurt the reputation of the Olympics, like breakdancing, or even made them go over budget into millions of dollars of debt. There's a problem here. There's a need. The new sports that they need to bring in need to be not only cost effective for the games, but still also be unique and fun to watch. See, let me prove to you that the sports are actually very expensive. The sports are expensive to host. You see, Andrew Zimbalist, an economics professor, in an article entitled Why the Olympics Cost So Much, said many facilities built especially for the games go underutilized after the 16 or 17 days of the competition itself, require tens of millions of dollars to maintain, and occupy increasingly scarce real estate. They're losing money based on these really expensive events, and also Olympic sports are costly to play, barring participation from people, even though the International Olympic Committee says in their Olympic agenda that they want to strengthen cooperation with UN agencies to provide opportunities for people who do not usually have access to sport in low and middle income countries. So they have expensive sports not only to host, so some host cities can't host them because they're just too expensive for those countries, and other people can't play the sports because they're too costly to play. So what sport is economical enough to fit this need? You see, the Olympics are going into debt because they have super expensive sports, and the countries that they want to help get into sports and be able to participate are not able to participate because the sports are too expensive. So what sport is economical enough? And here is what I think the answer is. Disc golf should be an Olympic sport. Let me say that again because of my thesis. It's important. Disc golf should be an Olympic sport. You see, disc golf is cost effective for host cities. Disc golf course installation costs are very low. The PDGA.com, which is a professional disc golf association, said that a deluxe 18-hole course with dual hard surface tees, professional metal signs, and official metal baskets can cost as little as $20,000. That's almost nothing compared to the tens of millions of dollars to maintain the real estate that they have. And contrast this again with the fact that most Olympic sports require dedicated facilities for the sport itself. Disc golf courses can be played on existing park space. You don't need to buy real estate for this. You merely maybe even need to rent it. Maybe not even that. Disc golf is also very economical to play. The Education Resources Information Center said that in disc golf, all a player needs is one disc. Beginners can expect to pay around $10 for a basic disc. This guy probably didn't even pay $10 for his disc. It looks even cheaper than that. And because it's cheap, thus it's accessible to play for low-income countries. You see, Paul Macbeth, one of the greatest disc golfers of all time, founded the Paul Macbeth Foundation, a charity. And in this charity, according to Nate Heimel, chair of the foundation, to date, PMF, or Paul Macbeth Foundation, has built disc golf courses in 19 countries, including Ukraine, Tanzania, Mexico, Bulgaria, Colombia, Kenya, Poland, Uganda, and Nicaragua. These sound like high-income countries. No, because they're not. They're poor countries. But disc golf works there because people there are poor. They can play disc golf. It's cheap. So we see that this satisfies the need of the Olympics for a sport that's unique, that's fun to watch, that's cost-effective, not only for host cities, but also for players. So how will this actually work? Well, disc golf must be accepted as an Olympic sport, being featured in the 2032 Olympics. The IOC, the International Olympic Committee, is the acting agency. It's purely legislative. There's no money involved in making an Olympic sport. And then, once it's implemented, the Olympics should have the money to pay for it because, again, it's cost effective. It doesn't cost very much to host in the Olympics. The qualification process, though, is a little bit more complicated. Britannica.com helps us out with this. in an article entitled How Are Sports Chosen for the Olympics? They say, 1, a sport must be recognized as a sport by the IOC. Same thing as before. The sport must have an international federation that enforces the anti-doping code. Basically, they don't want disc golfers who are on steroids playing in their games. Then, the sport must qualify under the rules and regulations of the Olympics. The sport must have global popularity, fit within practical boundaries, and not involve mechanical propulsion or be purely a mind game, like chess. Mechanical propulsion would be like race cars. Sorry, Brett. That can't be an Olympic sport. And the sport must follow Olympic values: respect, excellence, and friendship. Disc golf qualifies for all of these with flying colors. So we see that this satisfies perfectly the need in the Olympics, and it could go right into the Olympics because it has all the qualifications, and it's economical, it's fun to watch, it's unique, all those things are there. So, what will be the global impact if disc golf is made an Olympic sport? And here's the last point, the third point, the impact. Disc golf is accepted. If it's accepted more, there will be more quality of life in the world. Disc golf is accepted more, there will be more quality of life in the world. The first advantage of disc golf is that everyone can participate. SkylerDiscGolf.com said in an article entitled Why Disc Golf Deserves Olympic Recognition, the sport doesn't require expensive gear or massive stadiums. A field, a few trees, and a basket are enough to get started. This makes it popular not only in the US, where it began, but also in countries like Finland, Sweden, Estonia, Canada, and Japan. End quote. Everyone can participate in this. Second advantage is that disc golf promotes health. Rawhide Youth Services gave a testimony about this. A young man recently shared how playing disc golf is changing his life. He struggles with depression, anxiety, and other mental health issues. However, after he started playing disc golf, his mental health and outlook on life improved. Disc golf forces time in nature, away from the busyness of life, just in solitude, while you focus on a technical game of strategy that improves your mental faculty. Let me tell you. Your physical health also improves. You have to walk at least a mile. And sometimes it's not easy terrain. Sometimes it's like hiking a mile. You have to throw discs as hard as you can. Throwing discs 70 miles an hour is not easy. And in addition to this, we have some baseball fans in the room, Owen and Ruben. And disc golf affords more play time than being an outfielder, for example. If you're an outfielder, you're just out in the field, turning into a raisin while you're hoping that someday the ball will come to you and you can feel useful. But disc golf, you're playing the whole time. That's an advantage. What about some potential problems we might address? Potential problem one is that a sport must be excluded from the Olympics to include disc golf, potential sport. But let's be honest, does anyone really miss breakdancing in the Olympics? I don't think so. The value of disc golf is more than any other sport, I think, that could be included potentially. Then, Rawhide Youth Services, the second potential problem, is that disc golf won't grow fast enough in the world. But quick growth has been proven before. Rawhide Youth Services says in an article, 13 physical and mental health benefits of disc golf. During the 1990s, disc golf became the fastest growing sport in America. Disc golf is fun to watch. It doesn't break the budget of the Olympics. It is accessible for a global audience to play and to host for low-income countries. It fulfills all these qualifications, all these needs. And so when disc golf popularity rises, quality of life will rise as well. And the world will have the benefit of a mentally and physically healthy sport that everyone can participate in.